Merry Christmas from Cooking with Elee. Joy Noel. That's a fantastic shot glass.
It's got little boobs on it. Happy Kwanzaa.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Kwanzaa. And Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And Holiday.
Yeah.
Don't forget Holiday. The Pastafarians would be really upset if we forgot Holiday.
And if Happy Holidays doesn't work for you, Happy Shut the Fuck Up.
Way to be PC on that too.
Jingle bells,
Jingle
all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride!
Salut les amis! Aujourd'hui nous faire whatever. We're making tourtiere. My French is so at best.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
Tourtiere, the reason why I was speaking in French is because it's a traditional Christmas dish for a lot of French-Canadian families, and it's French-Canadian meat pie. So it's going to be awesome. If you guys want instructions for the crust, I've already done it with the lemon meringue using the same crust recipe, but I've also got a Tumblr post and we're linking in the doobly-doo to that. Just a quick refresher on how to do that pie crust. So we're actually going to start with the filling, yay! So get a large frying pan, and we've got it on medium heat, and we're going to start by putting a little butter in it to melt, because we're cooking in butter, no oil this time. It's French Canadian. When would they ever get grapeseed oil?
More butter! More butter! More butter! Yeah, give it to me! I gotta put it in my jar. Oh, yeah, butter!
Or anything like that. So, traditionally. So put in a little butter, and we're going to mince up 2 onions and then some garlic. Oh man, we can totally put like Christmas music over this. Go in the frying pan with the butter, and they stay there until they're caramelized. Oh, I like sexy close. I like sexy in general, but close-ups are good too. So next you add the garlic, as much as you want. It's the taste. I like lots of garlic, so there will be a lot going in. I'm getting some food porn in there.
yeah.
Is it terrible that I think you would be an amazing pornography director?
I'd be like the Bob Ross of
The
porn.
Bob Ross of porn.
Be like, just a little bush. Just get a little bush in there.
Happy little bush.
You know, just stick your face in that happy little bush.
And just beat the devil out of them. Cover everything in the studio.
Really sad. Look at all the sexy garlic angles. So garlic's in the pan. Give it a stir with your onions. You want to cook your onions till they start getting like a caramely brown color. That means their sugars are breaking down and cooking, and makes them super awesome and delicious. So starting to get there with these. And give it little stirs. Next up is one of the internet's favorite foods, bacon. This is just garden variety bacon, and you can substitute ground pork, but honestly, why would you? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bacon. It's less work if it's ground pork. You're gonna take the bacon and you're gonna cut it up into little pieces, and then you're gonna put it in with your onions and your garlic. So yay, bacon. This is mostly thawed, I hope. I don't know. I tend to find bacon like for sale and just buy like several pounds of it. So yeah, it's already cut one way, so just cut it nicely the other way.
Silent night, holy night.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
Internet's favorite food, minced up, goes into the caramelizing deliciousness of the onions. Does it smell fantastic up in here? So stir it around a bit. Alright, so next up, in goes the ground beef. Now I have 2 pounds or just shy of a kilo that I use with my recipe. You can use veal or lamb or moose meat is really good if you can get it. It's also fairly traditional, but you know, whatever you can get your hands on. Cut it open and put it in the pan too. This is gross. And just break it apart. I mean, it'll be easier to break apart once it starts getting cooked. But break that apart. Okay, so we're gonna add seasoning. I've got pepper, salt, sage, and parsley. This is all to taste, so if you like these things, put them in. If you don't. Once you make this a few times, you'll get a feel of how much you want in there. So just a little bit to flavor, salt, grind in a little bit of pepper, the fanciest grinders, and a touch of sage. I don't put a lot of sage in just because I find it's very flavorful, and you don't need a lot, but some people like it. Yeah, so stir those all in, and you know, keep an eye on your meat, make sure it's cooking and browning, and because it is ground beef, you want to cook it all the way through. It's not safe to have raw in your ground beef. Raw steaks are okay, but because it's been all ground through machines, not good for raw that. So just keep stirring it and making sure it's cooking. And then I'm gonna mince up some parsley. So yeah, just take your leafy bits off. You don't want the stems, it'll be gross. Put them in the compost if you can. Probably not use that knife anymore. That was super unsanitary. Oh well, it's all getting cooked in the same pot. Take a different knife and just mince it really well, so you know, all one way. Parsley, all in, and give it another stir. And just keep breaking up the clumps of meat. You don't want really big clumps. Keep breaking it up. They'll cook faster too if they're in smaller pieces, because there's a higher surface area to volume ratio for you chemists out there.
Let's try cesium, our 5th alkali metal.
So the last part of the seasoning is half a cup of stock. You can use beef stock. I'm using chicken just because I already have it open and I don't want it to go bad. So just measure out half a cup of stock. And the reason we do this is because water is a little less flavorful than this, and you want this to have like a really nice kind of gravy quality to it. At the end, once it's done cooking, if it's not thick enough, we can add cornstarch or flour to thicken it. But right now, just leave it with the stock and give it another stir. Oh, alright. Turning on the oven. Where's the bake button? Bake! And we turn it up to 425, which is higher than the default. Oh, keep going. There we go. Start preheating. So yeah, this is still simmering away. Got it on low heat. It's almost pretty much done cooking. I'm gonna have to put in some stuff to thicken it, but not right yet. I'm gonna keep moving on to the crust. this is cooked, is good, but it's still a little runny. So you want the juices to be more like a gravy than juice. So I've added a bit of stock, just to a little cup, measuring cup. You want like about a tablespoon of cornstarch or flour. And mix it in really good with your stock. You can use water, but like I said, stock is more flavorful. Yeah, mix out all the lumps if you can. And then mix this into here. So you're just gonna pour it in and stir. And that'll help thicken things up nicely. And a little bit at the bottom, so everything's stuck there. And then just turn the heat on this back up to medium. And let it thicken. And then once it's started to show signs of thickening, even if it hasn't, it will thicken, especially when it starts to cool off. We're going to transfer it over to the pie crust. Alright, so now that you've got your meat together, turn your burner off and proceed very carefully to put all of it in the pie. You want it to clump at the center, mountain it, because it will spread out over the course of baking it. Bam. Alright, there you go. So, and then you just cover it with your pie crust. Trim off your extra. And then the stuff that's hanging around it, just fold over. Doop, 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 doop. And then you can just use a fork to press it down to the edge of the pie plate. Make sure it stays like that. And then you're just going to want to put some vents in the top, poke through the crust. And this is so that the air has somewhere to escape, doesn't burst through or ruin your crust. In the top of the pie. Alright. Now we have preheated the oven, so this is going to go directly in. So it's going to bake on 425 for 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn it down to 350 for another half hour. Cleanup time. 10-second tidy.
Wait a minute. Who made this big mess? Me? I did, didn't I? Well then, I have to clean it up. It's only fair. So, get ready for the 10-second tidy. Ready, set, go! Whew, I'm all tuckered out.
Okay. Yeah, so Tourtiere. Yeah, so we'll cut into it in a second. Just let it cool a little bit from being in the oven. Turn your oven off. I believe it's already off. Yay! So some of our more astute viewers might notice that there's something pretty derpy going on with the top of this wine bottle. I was not being as smart as I should have been and got the wine bottle and left it in my car overnight. Most places in the world that would be fine, but in the middle of a Canadian winter, which is supposed to break records this season, not a good idea. So it actually froze, and because, you know, solid water is more space taking than liquid water, it actually forced the cork up. So I'm gonna open it up and see if it's still good. Probably would drink it anyways. But this wine actually, it's a Gamay Noir. It's done in the Beaujolais style, not Beaujolais Nouveau, but Beaujolais regardless. It's got really great kind of like Christmas spice nose, and great kind of fruit on the palate. So, like I said, good with richer foods, fattier meats. Yeah, I didn't even need the corkscrew to open it because it pushed it all the way out. And of course the car smells like wine, so that's just awesome. So we're gonna try what that's like. Want some of this? You wanna try some? Here! God damn candelabra! Does your wife want some too? Yes? Alright. Let's all get drunk and eat tourtiere. Whoop whoop! Don't get more Canadian than that. I'm coming with your wine. Okay, so cut in and serve like you would a normal pie.
Except this pie's made of meat.
Yeah, that's why it's called meat pie.
Oh! I get it now! Did you just hit your head on the candelabra again?
No. So voila, tourtiere. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry this wasn't vegetarian friendly, but it's good nonetheless. So enjoy.
Don't you want to say if you have questions?
Oh yeah, if you have questions, comments, problems, whatever, write us a thing in the doobly-doo, ask us on Tumblr. We don't exist on any other social media yet, so, you know, add us to your Google circles.
Don't you need fans to be a thing on the internet?
No, we're okay. We love you if you are fans, because you're like 1 of 5, but that's okay. We do this for us.